This is the next episode of my XR Weekly News. We are in week 7 2025. So the weather here is really cold, it's freezing, and this is the perfect weather for VR, right? But I have to say that for now the interest is not so high than it was in December, but that's normal because at the Christmas time and so on, many people got their new headset and watching videos, how does everything work and so on, tutorials and so on, and now everybody knows it, and they are just playing games and so on. And also there are not so many VR game releases in January, February, so I know that already. I'm doing that since 9 years now, YouTube, VR YouTube, and yeah, I know what happens. Yeah, it's really good. But when we consider it's February, it's still pretty good. Yeah, so I'm absolutely happy. I love this job. It's really insane. I get a lot of offers from different companies to test hardware, games, and so on. I have a huge list. It never gets smaller. But that's what I really love. I love this job. It's insane. It's not. Why do I say job? It's my hobby still. I have my full-time job also. So guys, everything about XR hardware, games, releases and sales. Let's have some fun with the weekly news and let's go.
VoodooDE.
So guys, let's start with the sad news. Ndreams is a really good VR developer. So they had to lay off like nearly 80% of the employees in September last year, and now they merged their studios like Ndreams Studio Orbital, Ndreams Studio, and there's still Ndreams Studio Elevation and Nearlight. They are still operational, but through all this merging, they noticed that they have still too many employees, and they have to lay off again some people, and that looks not so great, right? So when we look in the last month, also Ready at Dawn had to shut down, and Fast Travel Games had to lay off people. And one could think, is this only in VR? But no, guys, this is in the whole entertainment section. All the developers of games, not only VR, they are struggling because now the COVID pandemic is over and so on. And after that, many developers starting to struggle, and yeah, that's not a good thing. So it also has results in the VR sector, and I really hope there will be better times pretty soon again. John Carmack himself, yeah, this guy is insane. He knows so much stuff. In my opinion, he's really intelligent. And I talked to him for myself. I know him, and that's a really nice guy. And now he said something that I don't really like, but I can confirm. He said Beat Saber was far more important than Half-Life Alyx. Think about this. Beat Saber is a casual game, and Half-Life Alyx is in most opinions, the best AAA VR game that was ever released. I think the same. I love this Half-Life Alyx game, yeah. But I also love Beat Saber. I play Beat Saber a lot, yeah. But how can this be? I mean, this is strange but when you think about it, Half-Life Alyx you play perhaps 2 times. One time in easy, medium, then in hard difficulty, and perhaps some mods. But Beat Saber you can play unlimited. There are always new DLCs and maps and whatever for the songs. And yeah, that's the one thing. But of course, the most important thing is for Half-Life Alyx you need a PC. And Beat Saber you just switch on your Quest and it works. And that's the thing. Many people, and we will talk about this later in the news, are into casual gaming, fast casual gaming. Yeah, that's the future. And not the future that I like, but that's the truth. That's fact. And this is also, you can also see it at the sales. So Beat Saber was sold like 10 million units, I think, and Half-Life, we don't know it exactly, but something between 2 and 4 million units. So much less than Beat Saber. So obviously, John Carmack is right about this, but I don't want to confirm it, but I have to, you know. Wow, that is crazy. And he even says, to be clear, standalone VR was the biggest win that VR ever had. Wow. Yeah. And when we think about this, whether you like Meta, Oculus, Facebook, yes or not, but I told it in the last month again and again. I think without Meta and the standalone stuff, VR could be dead already. That's my opinion. I don't want to say it because I'm a huge PSVR enthusiast. Yeah, look at the video that I made, Alien Rogue Incursion, Quest versus PSVR. PSVR is so much better. It looks much better. But with not many people have a PC and a VR headset and so on. People want to buy something cheap and play fast. And without standalone VR, it could be really hard. Yeah, it could be really hard. Perhaps VR would already be dead, or even a small niche. So this is why I think John Carmack is right. And I don't like it, but that's the truth. Yeah? So what do you think about it? So we just talked about this. So there is something that Meta noticed, especially Samantha Ryan, the vice president of Metaverse content. She noticed that last year during the holiday sales and so on, many people got a Quest 3S, Quest 3, and many of them are very young users. And what do many young users play? Yes, free-to-play stuff. Free-to-play stuff. They play like Rec Room, VR Chat, they play Gorilla Tag and so on. Free stuff. And this is what Meta think they should focus on. That's why they also talk about the Horizon worlds and so on. Yeah. So for a good example is that Gorilla Tag last summer had a revenue of $100 million. And this was only, Gorilla Tag is for free, but it was only generated via in-game purchases, cosmetics. That's insane. That is really insane. And this is, of course, like in the huge amount young people. Yeah. So, for example, I think I wouldn't buy some cosmetics. I don't know, but I mean, I did that. I did that, for example, in World of Warcraft. I did that, but not so much. Perhaps like 2 times in my whole life or so. Yeah, but the kiddies are doing that like daily. They buying the small stuff for some cents or some bucks. Yeah, and that's normal for them. That's really normal here in Germany as well. Yeah, so many kiddies playing like casual games and then buying some cool cosmetics or so. That's the future. But to be honest, I'm not a fan of this future. You know that I just talked about this. I'm a PSVR enthusiast. I started with PSVR. I love the graphics. And then everything drifted into the casual scene. Yeah. I mean, on the because of Quest, but still, I love the Quest. I love what they're doing. Without them, VR would be dead. But still, there are so many casual games now. But there are still very good games on the Quest 3 that I don't consider are casual. Example, for example, Vampire the Masquerade on Quest. This is, for me, it's not a casual game. It's a bigger game with story and so on. But for example, like Rec Room or Gorilla Tag or Beat Saber, these are casual games. Yeah? And now it's even going into free to play. That's even a step lower than casual. Yeah, that's crazy. That's not the direction I wanted VR to go to. But yeah, I mean, as long as we can still play some cool games. And Samantha Ryan still said that paid content, paid VR apps are still available in the future. So that's very important as well. But they will more focus on free to play. What do you think about this? So this was a crazy announcement this week. Civilization VII is getting official VR support. That is crazy. Yeah, I never thought this would happen. I think nobody would. And yeah, the game is already out on PC and console, but this spring 2025 it will also get a VR version. But now here comes something what I talked about the last month. It will only be available for Meta Quest 3 and 3S. It will not be available on Quest 2. And this is what I always say. The Quest 2 support is getting lower and lower and lower and lower. Yeah? So, I mean, of course you can play PC VR even with the Quest 1 still, but make sure that if you want to play the newest games from the Meta Horizon store, then you should get a Quest 3 or Quest 3S. That's the truth. So you can play the game with up to 4 players in an online multiplayer match. And what I see here is this ring menu and the laser pointer here. That looks pretty good. Yeah? So the controls seem to be interesting. Perhaps you can grab the world with the grip buttons and turn it and make it bigger, smaller, and so on. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And I will show it on my channel. Wow, something new from the PlayStation VR 2. That's rare. That's rare. But and now, some months ago, I reported about that Sony allows the developers of VR games to use the hand tracking feature. And now there's the first game, this is Walls of the Wizard, that supports hand tracking on the PlayStation VR 2. How cool is that? We have the hand tracking. You look at this, we can use everything like bow and arrow, we can even walk, we can throw stuff, we can destroy stuff, and so on. And that's really nice. But the thing is, will more developer get hand tracking updates for their games or not? I mean, not every game is meant for hand tracking. For example, Firewall Ultra, you cannot play with hand tracking. That's too inaccurate and so on. But perhaps some games like this one here should work. And yeah, that's a good thing about the PlayStation VR 2, in my opinion. Android XR news again. So we already know that Google will also focus on mixed reality content. And for mixed reality content, you need camera access or at least some data. So Meta announced that in the future they will give the developers access to the pass-through camera view. Apple also wants to do that to some enterprise developers. But for now, for example, Meta gives only access to special data. For example, the developers can only use pass-through as the background. They don't see the camera. Or some skeletal information like my hands or my body or so. But they don't have access to the raw camera view. This will change in the future. And Google also decided to give access to the pass-through camera. And but they want to do it like on the Android phones. For example, on my Pixel phone, when I open an app that needs camera access, it asks me, do you want to give the app access to the camera once or forever or so? And then I can choose it. And this will be the same with Android XR. And then you can decide. Of course, yeah, there's people that think about privacy, of course, but without it, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work very good. Yeah, especially when you want to have this mixed reality anchors, tracked objects, and so. This will only work with pass-through camera. So Google decided to allow this. Yeah, and let's check out the releases this week. Of course, most important, Alien Rogue Incursion on Meta Quest 3 and 3S, not available on Quest 2. Yeah, and I made a video where I compare the Quest 3 version to the PC VR version. So make sure to check it out. I will link it in the info cards now and in the description. And yeah, this is a difference. Yeah, really insane. But I for myself, I love the game. I'm a big Alien fan. I love the atmosphere and so on. If you decide to buy the game, make sure to go via my link list. Yeah, you will find it here in the coupons and then search for Alien Rogue Incursion. Click on the link and then it should say something like, yeah, support the creator and save 10%, and click on claim. Yeah, sorry, everything is in German here, of course. And then you get, yeah, the 10%. Here are also other tabs now, top VR mods, for example. There you can, for example, find a new Crisis VR mod with the links and so on. Yeah, so it's really interesting. I will also perhaps introduce a tab later where I put all my accessories that I have and my PC and so on, so we can check this out. That's also very interesting. Yeah, and on Steam, we have this one here. This is Extinct VR. This is a single-player action adventure in yeah, apocalyptic environment. Then we have Cold VR. This is the opposite of Super Hot VR. And then we have Sunny Shores Coaster Ride. This is for children, a coaster simulator. No idea if that is a good idea because of motion sickness and so on. In a PlayStation VR 2, we have Dodgecraft. This is a full body training. We have to dodge and so on. Yeah, and this were the releases this week. Okay guys, and let's check out the sales. On the MetaQuest platform, we have Bone Lab for $31.99, then Among Us VR for $5.99. We have Pavlov Shack, nice shooter, $16.99. Peaky Blinders, nice adventure, $16.99. Moss Book 2, nice jump and run adventure, $14.99. About VR is $14.99 as well. And then we have the Room VR Dark Matter on Steam, is 50% off. Panoptic, nice co-op game, 60% off. Operation Warcade is a nice shooter, 65% off. Kali and the Reaper Man, also nice co-op game, 75%. And on a PlayStation VR 2, After the Fall, nice zombie shooter, 70%. Very Bad Dreams, a horror game, 80%. And add-on Sweetopia for Walkabout Mini Golf, 75%. And Jurassic World Aftermath, 80% off. So guys, this were the weekly news. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell, and see you next time in virtual reality. See ya.
VoodooDE